This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Are you still cutting your own grass? Are you still trying to get your landscaping to look perfect on your own? That sounds sweaty. That sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like a job for Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Family owned and operated. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services, located on Kern Street in Exeter near Blue Ribbon Dairy, has the quality and experience to get your yard looking its best. The Garden Center offers plants, trees, sod, mulch, rocks, flowers, topsoil, grass seed, straw bales, and much more, while the Lawn and Landscaping Services offers mowing, trimming, planting, and full landscaping. And also new at Keller's Garden Center is the Zen Chaser Bonsai Studio, offering bonsai trees, supplies, and classes. Visit them on their social media page for more info. Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Get your free estimate today. Bad Hats. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Super excited about this. I was only just recently introduced to your band.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm lucky to be surrounded by music lovers, like Ben Travers and an AJ Jump, who kind of helped organize your show coming up at the River Street Jazz Cafe.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah. So they introduced me to you. I checked out the music. I'm like, yes, I would be over the moon excited about talking to them because I love their music.
Great.
So, yeah, so good.
Well,
it's got this like I'll tell you what I'm hearing, and you can we'll dig into who Bad Hats is.
Okay.
I'm here. It's very like beachy vibes.
For sure. I feel that.
And a little bit of Sheryl Crow.
I love Sheryl Crow, so I love to hear that.
I always like stress out about saying that stuff because what if I say like, oh, I think you sound like I don't know, Taylor Swift, which is probably a great thing right now, right?
About to say, I wouldn't hate that either, but right. I know what you mean. It's like say, when you bring up a comparison, it's always like, I think I like that comparison. Yeah.
It's only happened to me once so far.
Okay, good.
Out of 185 episodes, not bad.
That's a good ratio.
Yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, talk to me about who Bad Hats is. I mean, from Minnesota, right?
That's correct. Yep.
And that's where you are right now?
That's where I am right now, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Very, very cool. Well, I'm in northeastern Pennsylvania, where I'll be playing on May 9th.
Yeah, it's coming up so fast. I actually can't believe it.
It is. I think, well, it's a week today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. When is it? May 9th?
Yeah, we're getting close for sure. Yeah.
May 9th is, I'm sorry, so it's Thursday. It'll be a week tomorrow when we're recording May 1st. So yeah, so May 9th, a little over a week away. But yeah, talk about the band. I mean, how long you've been together for, all the fun stuff.
Great. Yes. So Bad Hats is myself, Carrie, and my husband, Chris. We've been the longstanding members since the very beginning. We started the band together when we were in college at McAllister College in St. Paul, Minnesota. We found each other's music on MySpace. We liked what we heard. We had some mutual friends, and yeah, we just started writing together, sharing mixes, sort of like sharing influences and inspirations. And we came back from study abroad our senior year. We met our friend Noah, who had recently bought a bass guitar, and we said, perfect. We're going to wrangle you into playing in this band and attending weekly band practice for the next 6 years. And yeah, we played like our second show ever was the McAllister College Battle of the Bands, which we did not win. But one of the judges ran like a little record label in town, and he signed us to his record label like a week later. And all kind of like went from there. That was sort of like the thing we needed to be like, oh, I guess we are like a real band. So we made a little EP. We started playing shows around town. And yeah, that's like a decade plus ago at this point.
I was going to ask you, how long ago was that?
Yeah, that was 2012. The
Yeah.
band formed.
What are your thoughts on Battle of the Bands? I don't know, like that. So I've been in the media for a long time, so I would
Okay.
be asked to judge them a lot of times. And
Okay. Yeah.
I'd always be happy to do so, but like looking back on it now, I feel like it's just so kind of silly.
Sure. Yeah. I feel like I know what you mean. Because it's really just like it should be like friendship of the
Right.
bands and like just a great set of music. And also it's also relative of like who is the best band, because also just like people have different tastes and like, you know.
Yeah.
Um
But I just picture like
so
people up
yeah.
on stage like, oh, I'm battling you. I'm battling this
Right.
band. Like, this is so
Yeah,
weird.
totally. It is kind of weird because normally, yeah, it usually is just like like I feel like the community and camaraderie around being in a band and being like the touring musician and playing with other bands is like one of my favorite parts of being in a band. So yes,
Right.
I don't want to battle them. We're all in this
No
together.
battles. Or no battles.
No
Yeah.
battles.
So that was over a decade ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you started a band with your husband. How is that kind of? I mean, I always joke with my wife, kind of joking. I don't know if I could ever work with her.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but I assume it works for you guys.
Yeah. So far, so good. Yeah, it's kind of like in some ways just all we've ever known. It's just like working together on the band and yeah, like touring together and recording together and but yeah, we seem to get along pretty well. And we're a good like a good match. I'm a little bit more like go 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 and like always have a to-do list and like always kind of like thinking about stuff, and Chris is a lot more like patient and it's like it's nice to have like those two sides. I think we keep each other motivated and grounded.
Well, it's balance, right? Like, and I think that I kind of been talking about balance a lot lately, like in my, full-time day job and just life in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think everyone sees like stuff on social media and everything is like, so amazing and awesome. But like real life is not like that, right? There's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and just like I think the most important thing in life is just that balance. There's going to be
Yep.
days at work that are shitty, but there's going to be days at work that are awesome. And I think that's
Yeah.
everywhere. There's no job that
Totally.
outside maybe being a musician that's like,
We have some tough days. We have some tough
right.
days sometimes.
But it's all about that balance. So you guys
Yes.
balance each other out too.
Totally. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And I see like, I mean, it makes sense now that you guys are husband and wife because I just watched a bunch of videos and
Oh yeah.
it just kind of you guys it's a good mix.
Yeah.
You're
Absolutely.
you could tell you guys have a good thing going.
We think so for sure. And I do think like sometimes people ask us like how have you like, like stayed in the band like this long or like maintained the band this long? And I really do think it's because I have like a partner in it. Because it's sort of like it's a very like self-conscious inducing kind of industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice to have like another perspective or someone that's just like talk to things about and like even if neither one of us has the answer, just like the comfort of like, okay, like I'm not the only one who doesn't know what's going on is nice.
Yeah. Something to bounce off of.
Yeah.
And the music industry has changed so much over the years too, from when you guys started. It's kind of crazy how things change. So it's
I mean, yeah, totally.
And you guys just released a new album.
We did.
Self-titled, right?
Self-titled. Yep.
Back on April 12th?
April 12th, yes. So yeah, we're about like 2 weeks in?
Yeah,
3 weeks in?
2-3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how's that been received so far?
Pretty good. People seem to like it. I've been enjoying I like that sometimes it's like, it's like you pick the singles. It's kind of like the songs like that you end up kind of showcasing. But I kind of like that when I hear that people are liking songs like from all over the record. Makes it like a little tough when you're choosing singles or like when you're thinking of like what to play at the shows. It's like, well, people want to hear like everything, but like I think that's it makes me feel good that people seem to like the album in its entirety. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's great. Now, are you on a label currently?
We are, yes. We're on a different label than the label I mentioned in my origin story. But we're now on a label called Don Giovanni out of Philly.
Okay. Now, do they pick the singles that you will be releasing, or is that kind of up to you guys?
It's like a conversation. Like I seem to remember this time around. I think I often would like advice on what the singles are because I just have a tough time choosing because I just have like a different relationship to the songs. Like,
sure.
I think they're all like great in their own way and like they're all so special and good. So it's like I appreciate like an outside perspective. But I think we asked Joe, who runs the label, like what the singles should be, and he was kind of like, I don't know, like they're all pretty good. So like whatever you guys think, I'm like, no, that's not what I need. Yeah. I need to hear. But I think he often has some ideas, and we have some ideas, and kind of see where we overlap.
But you're saying that the ones that you kind of liked off this is kind of ones that are that the audience is kind of gravitating to as well?
Yeah, I would say that so the singles were TPA, Bored in the Summer, and My Heart, Your Heart. And people seem to be enjoying those three. Maybe My Heart, Your Heart especially. And I'm glad people like that song. That one we've been playing live for a while now, and it's been really fun to play live, and so I'm glad people have been connecting with that song. But also I know I've gotten I was kind of surprised to hear that people seem to be enjoying the slower numbers on the record, Lay Low and Happy. So I was thinking, people want the upbeat poppy stuff, but right. It's cool that they're drawn to sort of the slow burners. Yeah,
I mean, I love all of it. I've had a hard time myself kind of digging through it and kind of picking my favorites so far. I haven't had a lot of time to kind of spend with it.
No, you're good.
I know that Let Me In is a fair. I don't know if that's on the new one though. Is that on the new one? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was one of my initial.
That was like my my favorite, and it's still one of my favorites. And I that one we went back and forth on if that would be a single because it just does have that kind of like energy to it. But I think ultimately you sort of we got to cheat a little bit because it wasn't a single, but it's track one. So that's the one people are going to queue up first. So it's like you get a little bonus single in there. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And talk about Bored in the Summer. There's a cool video for that.
Yes. I really have fun. I like making the videos. I don't do it by myself, but our friend Dan does video work and he helps us. So he films for us. But I come up with the storylines and edit the clips together. And it's been cool to get back into video making. It just feels like another place to sort of show off our personality and have some fun and be a little goofy.
Yes, it's exactly that. Showing off your personalities. That's the one thing I noticed. And it's very DIY. And but totally. It's fun. It's genuine. It's relatable. It's
cool.
It's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I assume that's kind of what you're going for.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah.
As far as are you currently on tour now?
We played we played the first shows of the record cycle. So we played some shows last weekend in Minnesota, but then we got to come home, pack our bags, do some laundry, get ready to go. And so Friday will kind of be the first day where we're out for a couple weeks.
When you're traveling. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, what can people expect? Whether it's different from previous shows that you performed, or maybe it's new for this record release. What can people expect from you guys as you embark on this tour?
Um, One exciting thing. Well, we will be a four-piece band. We've gone back and forth between trios and a four-piece over the years. So we're back to a four-piece, which is really fun. And part of that is as part of that, Chris will be playing synth on stage for the first time. It's also really fun. We always use synths on the records, but have never brought one on tour for various like logistic reasons, and we often just like sort of change up the arrangements just to suit sort of two guitars. So it'll be fun to have the synth on stage because there's so many great synth parts on the record. But then you'll be hearing the old favorites, the usual witty banter, that kind of thing.
Nice. And I don't know if I imagine this is not for every date, but on May 9th at the River Street Jazz Cafe, you have Brianna Collins from Tiger's Jaw.
Yep.
And Rosary Guild from our area, both of them. And Brianna, her last name has changed. And I feel badly that I don't know this. She got married in the past year or two.
Okay, yeah.
And I forget what it is. I should know this.
That's good.
I interviewed her and I used to work with her, and I forget what
nice, yeah.
Yeah, I forget what her name is. But are you familiar with either of those projects?
I had not been familiar before we were playing the show and we're deciding what openers to have. But we're really excited. We always it's like cool to be able to play, like to tour the country and, like sort of be like exposed to different music scenes like around the country, because there are like so many great bands all over the place that you might not otherwise get to hear unless you travel to their city. So yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, both those bands are excellent. I mean, Tiger's Jaw, I think they were just out in California, maybe. I think they just got back recently. Cool. And Rosary Guild, I mean, they are very selective with when they play. It's not often. And so when they do, it's like a big deal. But that should be
amazing.
A great show. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to make it out for that.
Yes, I hope you will.
Have you played the Jazz Cafe before?
No, we have never played in your town before.
This is the first time.
Yeah.
Is this your first time, like even in the area?
I think to play a show, yes, because it's like somewhat near Scranton. Is that true? Mm-hmm. Okay, we haven't played a show in Scranton before. I have eaten a really good sandwich in Scranton though on a drive.
From where?
Abe's.
Abe's.
Yeah.
I think what that's called. The kosher deli?
Yeah, the deli. Yep.
Okay. That's actually like a block or two from my office in Scranton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I work full time in radio, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I used to work in radio. I left radio. I was working with Brianna at a place called Axelrad Screen Printing for 3 years. And then I went back to radio. So yeah, I'm about 2 blocks from that Abe's.
I had a really good sandwich there.
What did you have?
I think it's just the classic Reuben.
Okay.
And it was quite good.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. I didn't know if it could top my favorite sandwich in the country, which is in Columbus, Ohio, but it was really close.
And what is that?
That's at Katzinger's Deli in Columbus.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, this area,
a lot of sandwiches.
Well, this area is well known for their food. I have to say. But
I think I don't think we've played anywhere really close. We played Philadelphia, of course. We've played State College a few times, and we've played at Allentown one time, and Millvale.
Okay, not familiar, but Sure.
I think that was in Pennsylvania. Also both Millville and Allentown were like college
Okay.
shows. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I don't know how much time you're gonna have in our area, but
Yeah.
this area is well known for its pizza.
Okay. Don't
If
mind
you're
if I
into
do.
that kind of stuff, you gotta hit up.
Yes.
There's a few places you can. I mean, there's a NAPA pizza review on Facebook you can go to. There's also
Okay.
DiMatteis's Food Fight. He does pizza reviews as well for our
Okay.
area and food reviews in
Wow.
general. But
Yeah.
check those out. But yeah,
Okay.
Angelo's, the sweet sauce, you got to check that out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, if you have time.
Sounds good.
If you have time.
Okay.
But I saw recently you did an AMA, Ask Me Anything on Reddit.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was good. It was our first time doing that. We were a little nervous that no one would ask us any questions. We were happy that some people were there.
People did.
They did.
Any off the wall? Inappropriate?
No, nothing too out there. I think the only thing was why do fools fall in love? Which was it was tough. I just didn't know the answer.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Did I also see that you're in another band as well?
Yeah, Chris and I just started another band with our friend Alana.
And that's called
it's called
Mega Sound?
Mega Sound. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that like a different creative space for you guys, or were you guys just bored and you wanted to just kind of spread yourself thin?
I wouldn't say it was like because of anything with Bad Hats. Like we're like working on our fifth record, like already, like still got lots of ideas and like excited for Bad Hat stuff. But it was mostly from wanting to work with our friend Alana, because she's just like been a great friend for a really long time, and we've just like love talking to each other about the music business and like our favorite bands. And she's just someone I really enjoy sort of sharing my thoughts with them, my ideas with. And so it's just like always been a dream to work with her in a band. But we're kind of using it as an opportunity to sort of try some things that we might not do in Bad Hat. So more like rock focused, I guess you could say. It's like sort of like pointing to early 2000s rock music is like the inspiration. Yeah.
That's awesome. And there's music available out there now?
No, not yet. We're still in the process of recording. We played our very first show, which was fun. And we have one song that's been mixed sitting in the vault.
Cool.
But yeah, when we get home from tour, we got some days planned to finish up the record. So that's exciting.
Okay. I'm excited for that too. I love early 2000s rock.
Me too.
They call it like butt rock, I think, now these days. You know?
For sure.
You know, the Creeds, the Nickelbacks, all that kind of stuff. I love that.
I know. It's funny. It's like sometimes I think about how cool it was to grow up in a time when like you turn on like the top 40 radio station, and it was like at the same time like Britney Spears, followed by like Linkin Park, followed by like TLC. Just it was so cool. It was like so many different sounds and like voices and vibes. And it didn't seem weird to me at the time that all those were happening like at once. So it was just like, that's just music.
Yeah. Well, I work for a classic rock station. It's called Rock 107. Cool. And it's funny because, you know, the late 90s and early 2000s is kind of considered classic rock at this point.
Okay.
So we've kind of been adding, you know, those years into our catalog and our library. And some people are loving it. I mean, I'm 41, so like I love the fact that, you know, that music has kind of returned to the radio, but there's people who hate it. We just got a call like 2 days ago saying like, Green Day, why is this Green Day playing on this classic rock station? It's like, dude,
like
this
Green
is
Day,
96.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
96. Like, what are we
They're
doing?
just, I know. They're just having I think that's a them thing.
Yeah,
They're realizing their place in time and space.
we're getting old.
We're
Well,
getting
that's,
old. Yeah.
you can only play the Who and Zeppelin for so long. I mean, like that audience.
Yeah.
I mean, that those will stand the test of time, right? Like, I'm a huge fan of those
Yeah.
bands too, but like our audience, unfortunately, Rock 107 started in 1980. Um, so like a lot of the audience that was tuned in back then are unfortunately dying. So you have to like,
Yeah.
introduce, you know, classic rock of the 90s and 2000s to, guys like me who are old, but
Yeah.
not dying yet, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, best of luck with Mega Sound. That sounds exciting.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I know. Hopefully we'll have someone out soon.
How long is your tour for? Is that a quick one or?
It is two, like basically like two quick tours back to back. So we're going out to the East Coast and back in like 2 weeks, and then we'll be home for a few days, and then we are flying to Paris and doing a week of shows in the UK and Europe.
Wow. Is that your first time doing that?
Yes, it is.
What
We're
are
really
your
excited.
thoughts? What are your thoughts?
It is something we've like been thinking about for like a really long time. It's like always been like a goal of the band. So it's really exciting to do it. I'm trying to keep the perspective of how cool it is and how excited we are for it in the midst of like all the logistical things we're trying to figure out. Like
Stressful,
it
right?
it has been a lot of like get the hotels, get the flights, get the like car, like the paper you need to cross the border, get the van, get the equipment. So trying to cross off the to-do list and then get back to being like, it's so exciting. We're going over there and playing shows.
Right. Are there any areas you're excited about the most, or you're just kind of just the whole thing is just kind of like a dream come true?
Yeah, I mean, basically that one. Superstar for London. That's always been like one of our like top cities on like streaming. So we felt like we had a fan base there. So I'm excited, especially to like bring the songs there and meet people at the merch table. And then Paris will be really cool too. I studied abroad in Paris, and that's where I started writing the very first like Bad Bad Hats, like what would become Bad Bad Hats songs. So it'll be a nice like kind of like full circle thing to be back there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And when you started writing music and performing and you started this band, did you ever think that things would be progressing like they have been?
I don't know. I guess like it's hard to remember exactly what I like. It's like you almost can envision it because I don't know. It's even more like exciting and like even more of an adventure than you can probably even like consider.
Right.
I think I definitely hoped. Like I feel like someone asked me this the other day too. It's just like, did you think it would be like, did you always know like you were gonna get like this far or something? And it's like, I do think I always had the goal of like writing songs like professionally, like whatever that means. Like I just knew that I really loved writing songs, and it would be cool if I could just do that like
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think from a young age, that was like definitely like something I knew would be really really fun, and it's just been exciting and surprising and cool to see how it's all sort of turned out.
Well, I asked a question because like everyone starts a band hoping like that's how it plays out, right? But things happen. People have to get like quote unquote real jobs, right?
Right.
Um, they might have families that they have to take a hiatus to take care of their family, and
Totally.
a multitude of reasons, right? So, but it's a lot of times it doesn't ever happen, and I feel like it's kind of maybe it has, or it's definitely like on that trajectory for you guys, and you have tons of listeners on Spotify and social media followers, and that's not easy to get.
No, it's not. And we do feel like it's been like really slow and steady, like over the 10 years. Sort of like follow by follow, you know? And that's kind of, I don't know, like I feel like in the early days, like we didn't know at the time that this was like a good mindset, but I feel like we just from the start had a good way of just like being excited for like small gains. It's just like at some of our first shows, it's like you sell a t-shirt and you're like, that's awesome, like we sold a t-shirt tonight, and like we made a fan. And since then it's easy to sort of like be looking to like the next thing and like wanting more, and sort of like not having a good perspective of like, but how cool is it that like we're doing this now? I think it served us well that for some reason we were able to sort of like kind of like be happy in those early moments of just like, we made like 2 fans tonight and that is awesome. Because that's how it's been for like the whole band. It's just like show by show, I always work at the merch table. I don't think anyone can pry me away from the merch table. It's like my favorite part of the night. So I just get to talk to everyone and like say hi and meet people, and like and also like people I've met come back to the merch table, and it's like a nice reunion. So yeah, things like that I think have been the most like rewarding in the band, to just sort of see the audience grow and make connections and meet people. And so yeah, I hope we always continue that no matter what.
I don't know you very well at all, right? But I feel like that's gonna kind of be consistent along your, however far you make it and however big you make it. I think that's still gonna be part of who the band is as a whole.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I gotta stay humble,
Yeah. And I feel like, as far as your merch goes, like, is that something you guys create on your own? I feel like you're very kind of like, artsy and kind of like involved in that process.
Chris does. Sometimes I have ideas, but I'm not very like visually artist inclined.
I knew it.
But yes, Chris does a lot of the design work for us, which has been awesome. But then sometimes too, it's fun to work with other artists and make that kind of connection too. And we have worked with the same screen printer in Minneapolis since the band started. Cool. So that's been great. Yeah.
It's a cool industry. I mean, the whole process in general. I think bands are, I don't know how involved like, Axl Rose was when he was printing merch, right? Like probably not at all.
Right.
They were just, making wildly successful albums and selling millions in merch and all that kind of stuff. But like bands these days, and I think they're very just involved with like, I'm an artist. I'm gonna not only create music, but I'm also gonna create the merch that we sell to our audience.
Yeah.
Because Brianna does that for Tiger's Jaw. A lot
cool.
of the stuff they do. Yeah, it's very
totally. I know. I love the bands that have like the one like screen printing press like in their basement, like making the shirts. That's cool. I think that's like, Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I have more questions to let you go. Some of your favorite artists that are around today, who might those be?
I really love the Beths. They're so great. We had
the Beths,
like Elizabeth, the Beths. Okay. They're from New Zealand. We had the pleasure of touring with them in 2019, and getting to know them, and they're just really great people, but also just amazing songwriters, musicians. Like they're all like, like jazz trained musicians making like really catchy, fun pop rock music, which is a great combination. Lots of background vocals, which you don't hear a lot anymore, but like real all in BGVs, which is great. And just like really smart lyric writing and great melodies. So they're definitely one of my favorites. Who else? I feel like I always I always just I'm like a playlist person. Like I love just like being out and about. Like I'm like the person like in the coffee shop, like standing on a chair trying to Shazam
Yeah.
like the song I'm hearing. Like I just love hearing music like in the wild and discovering stuff and
Yeah.
hearing a song on the radio and being like, oh man, I forgot about the song. And like I'll add it to my yearly playlist. I make a playlist for every year. So I feel like I'm always listening to like a lot of like random stuff. But another band I really have been into lately, also speaking of like early 2000s rock kind of sounds, there's this Dutch band called Oot, which is spelled EUT. And they have this album. Well, all their music is really great, but they have this one album that has like a mouse on the cover. And it just really reminds me of like, you know, sort of like Franz Ferdinand era kind of rock stuff, like yeahs, like
Nice.
the guitar playing is super cool and like also like really great melodies and interesting like chord changes. So I've been really enjoying that record.
That's cool. I'll have to check those out. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
I always love to like hear what people are into.
Cool. Yeah.
I can try and find it out too. And it's cool what you said too about music in the wild. You don't know who it is, and so you're standing on a chair shazamming. One of my favorite things as a young kid was going to the record store.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you how many records I bought. Just being in there and going to the counter guy saying, "Who is this right now?"
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, "Oh, it's this." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take it. Thank you."
Okay. Yes.
I found Jack's Mannequin that way.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
They do dark blue, dark blue.
Yes.
Great song.
Great album. Great album.
Yeah.
I like Jack's Mannequin more than, so it's probably Jack's Mannequin greater than something corporate, although it's close. And then he's got the Andrew Man in the Wilderness, which I like too, but like I feel like Jack's Mannequin, something corporate, and then Andrew Man are my favorite, like what he's done so far.
Yes, totally. Nice.
My opinion, for what it's
worth. Yeah.
As someone who's been able to, create music, record music, go on tour, we're talking about going to the UK. What advice would you give to an aspiring musician?
I guess, yeah, like one thing I would say, like sometimes it feels hard to give advice because one thing I really believe is that like there are really like a million paths to like the same goal, which if the goal is just like to be a working musician, like, some people go viral, some people, play lots of local shows, some people, get on a big tour. I don't know. It's just like everyone's story is like really different. So, I wouldn't, it's like, I wouldn't compare yourself to anyone or think you're doing something wrong if your story isn't lining up with someone else's story, because it just never will. But also I think to me, like, I feel like the thing that really opened up the music world to me was just like collaborating with other people, like, meeting Chris, like meeting my bandmates, meeting our producer who made a lot of our records, just like, being engrossed in a music scene has been so awesome. And it just makes it fun too, to meet great people while making music. So find people who share your love of music and, who it sounds fun to play with. And then just like write lots of songs. There is just so much where, like in the modern era, like musicians kind of have to do so many other things besides making music. It's just like running the social media and like booking the shows and printing the merch maybe, which is important. And like we're all doing it and we're all trying to figure it out. But at the end of the day, make sure you still are having fun writing the songs and making your art and try to leave room for that too.
Yeah. One thing I say, we talked about balance before, but I also am a big advocate for it only takes one.
Hmm.
Maybe you play that one show in front of that one
Yeah.
person who knows the right person,
Yeah.
or the in front of the right band who takes you on a tour. It just takes one.
Yep.
You never know when that could be. It just like you just gotta
Nope.
keep, stay true to yourself and keep plugging away, and
Absolutely.
you never know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. Yep. That's the way. So yeah, like you said, just keep doing your thing, and know that like just be ready when the luck happens, but it's coming.
Yeah. There's a saying, I should know it by now because I try and quote it a lot, and I just something about luck. Like luck is, when preparation meets opportunity or something like
Yep.
that. I forget.
Totally. Exactly. Yep.
And one final question. I saw that you were teaching a songwriting class.
Yep. I
You
just
just
finished
wrapped that
up.
up. Just wrapped that
Yep.
up. Yeah. What was that like?
It was amazing, honestly. Like such a cool opportunity. It was like one of those things where I had been thinking about it for a while. Like I was like, that could be cool. And I just presented the idea to the English department at McAllister where I went to school, and where there were still like professors there who were my professors,
That's
and
cool.
could vouch for me. But then when they're like, yeah, you can do it, like it's happening, I was like, oh. Like I feel like there's part of me that was like, I didn't think you guys would like actually let me do this. um so it was like a little hectic because I had never done that before, and um yeah, it was like a lot of time building the class and figuring out building a syllabus and making all the slideshow presentations every week. So it was a lot of work, but it was also just like really rewarding and fulfilling. And like all my students were so cool and creative, and I like loved hearing their songs and hearing their songs kind of grow, and um, hearing them work together. So yeah, I was like, I really didn't. I was like so sad to have the last class. I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm not going to see y'all again, like all in class together. So bittersweet though too, because I just feel like so lucky that I got to meet all of them and be a part of like their songwriting
Yeah.
journey.
Do you think that's something you'll continue to do?
I think so. Like especially now that I put in all the work to build the class, I feel like if I do it a second time, it'll be like a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that's certainly appealing. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I would definitely do it again. It's
That's
fun,
great.
and I know like every time I do it, I'll learn something else too.
Yeah. But that's so great just because like, I wouldn't call it giving back by any means. It's just, but like having somebody of your caliber, like be able to, you know, help others and teach and kind of foster that whole thing.
Totally. And I hope that they, I did my best to try to, answer their questions and sort of, you know, yeah, be someone who could just like, be there to bounce ideas off of.
And it's
So it's cool, and it was cool. I got to leverage my connections to the music scene to have like some cool special guests come and talk
yeah,
to the class. So that raised my credibility for sure.
yeah. But I mean, it's such a rewarding experience, and like I think people need that. Like students need that, and it's such an important part of like the process.
Yeah, and I do think it's like it is one of those things where like it is such like a weird career path in some ways. So I also think it's like it's nice to be able to just uh, learn from someone who is just sort of like making indie rock music and be like, this is what it looks like to be a you know musician, just like touring and writing songs and not doing anything crazy, but making it work.
That's awesome. Well, Carrie, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Bad Hats are going to be in northeastern Pennsylvania, River Street Jazz Cafe, May 9th, with Brianna Collins from Tiger's Jaw, Rosary Guild, and it I hope to be there. I'm going to be at a show the Monday prior to see Primus,
Okay,
which
nice.
AJ is also involved with booking at the Kirby Center. That's his like full-time job. So AJ's got a busy week. So he's booked the
Okay.
Primates at the Kirby Center. He's got you guys at the Jazz Cafe. It's gonna be busy.
Nice. That's good though.
My kids got baseball practice. Like,
Yes.
we just bought a puppy. Like, life is
Oh,
chaos
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
I really, I mean, it's. I shouldn't say it's been a long time, but, you know, I like a lot of music, but this has been one of those like, oh, this is really great, and I need to go see them play live, especially when they're in my backyard, because there's been so many
Nice.
times where it happens and either you don't
Yeah.
know about it or you just can't go, and then you're kicking yourself in the ass. So hopefully I can make it out to that show on May 9th. But where can people find you online if they wanted to check you guys out, whether it be at the May 9th show at the Jazz Cafe or
Yep.
down the road?
Well, badbadhats.com has all things Bad Bad Hats. We got the domain.
Nice.
You can find us there. But also we're at Bad Bad Hats, like in almost all the social media sites. So yeah, Instagram is where we mostly live though.
Okay.
So if you want those daily updates, that's where to find us.
That's the cool place. That's like, there's no like politics there. There's no like trash. It's kind of a better place to live, right?
Yes, totally. Yes, and we're like basically unable to have multiple social media sites running at once, so we gave up on trying to make TikTok a thing a long time ago. So
I feel like you guys would be okay though, because you're creative. I just, TikTok for me is not a place to be. But
okay, yeah.
But for you, it would be. It could be for you. And then I would be bad if I didn't ask where the name came from. My last question.
Oh,
Bad Hats.
Yes. From the Madeline children's books, the girls in the yellow hats in Paris with the nun.
Okay.
There's a book called Madeline and the Bad Hat. That's what it's from.
I was not expecting that, but very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Carrie, thanks again so much. Best of luck on this tour. Like I said, I hope to see you on Thursday, May 9th at the Jazz Cafe, and make sure you try some pizza if you have time.
Yes, we will definitely have some pizza.
Awesome. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.